In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys all of the best ways to be making MT right now in Season 6 in NBA 2K23 My Team. The first thing you guys want to focus on that I feel like a lot of people look over when talking about making MT, and something that I've realized is super simple to do that a lot of people just don't realize, and that is going to be by playing the game. And there's a couple of different ways. I don't just mean, earning MT, once you get to a certain tier in a game mode, or once you get to a certain point tier, 20,000 MT for here. That's obviously going to add up and is really nice. You can sell the contents in here, which is cool. For example, if you get to this 10-pack box, maybe you hit a Galaxy Opal, you hit a Dark Matter, you can sell stuff that you get out of this, I believe. You probably should be able to sell it, not 100% sure if you can, but 20,000 MT, 25k. So just from playing My Team Unlimited and just playing, you should be able to make, with the boxes included, with the coaches included, with everything you do obtain, I would say you should be able to make like anywhere of 100,000 MT to maybe 150 if you get some lucky pulls, maybe even more if you get some good pulls out of your boxes, because you do get 30 packs. I mean, you should pull at least 1 or 2, 3 Galaxy Opals from these supersonic sets. So that's the first thing, is just by playing game modes and trying to obtain MT that ways. But also when you're playing these games and you get those random, badge packs, you get those shoe packs. Now I don't remember really exactly where you get those all from, but you guys will know, like some people have like 300, 400 packs just sitting in their auction house, because I was like that as well a couple weeks ago. And I went through and basically what I did is opened up all those packs, and you're gonna get a lot by just quick selling stuff that you already have. But also, if you guys get badges, if you get shoe boosts, all this stuff does sell. So for example, that's kind of moving me into my next point, is by playing the game a ton, you're also going to be getting these miscellaneous stuff, whether it's badges, shoe boosts, even playbooks, logos. They sell for a decent amount and they do add up over time. And then I will talk about a shoe method in a second that has always made me consistent MT. But the first thing I do want to talk about is going to be badges, because badges right now are actually fairly not expensive, but they do add up over time, especially if you guys do have the expensive ones. But even if you don't, make sure you guys are going through and selling all your badges, right? The lowest rate here is 850. You might think, okay, well, that's kind of low MT, I don't need to go sell my posterizer. Well, if you're trying to make a lot of MT, trust me, I made a couple of videos on this about selling everything in your collection. I made close to 600, 700k MT just by going through and selling everything in my collection, and I still probably have 2, 3, 400,000 MT literally just sitting in my collection. And if you guys been playing the game for a decent amount of time this year, like let's say you've been playing for a month or two even, I mean, you should have a ton of badges and just a ton of stuff in your collection. We can see right here, this one's going to go for a lot. 4,000 MT is the lowest for the gold slithery, and this should sell for about 3.5k or 3,500. So you can even undersell if you want to, right? If you just want stuff to sell right away, you can maybe go put it up like this, right? This should sell within the next 20 minutes, and you can just continue to go do this for every single badge you guys have in the game. And the reason why badges are still staying somewhat relevant on the auction house and why they still have some sort of value, I feel like has something to do with the XP for the Dark Matter Haki. And this is just a reason, not the only reason why badges are somewhat expensive, or still somewhat expensive and still have some sort of value, is because of the fact that you get 50 XP for every badge you do apply to a player, and you can do that 100 times. So basically you can get 5,000 XP by adding all of these badges to your cards, adding 100 badges. So that might be a reason why badges still have some sort of value. And then there is sometimes there's badge challenges in here. So for example, apply a badge to any player. There's also sometimes where you actually have to buy a badge from the auction house, and when that happens, that means they go up even more in price. If one of these daily agendas say to buy a badge from the auction house, that's when you guys definitely should be selling all your badges. But just go through and you can make so much more MT than you guys think by selling your badges. That's the first thing I want to talk about when we're talking about selling everything, because people don't realize, and I didn't realize at first, how much MT you actually have sitting in your collection if you guys have been playing the game for a decent amount. So that one right there, I could probably list that for like maybe 1,500, but I'm just going to list it up for 1,000, and these should sell pretty much right away, or maybe after a couple hours, right? Like, I mean, even if it sells after 2-3 hours, you still made the MT anyway. So go through, sell all of your badges that you guys maybe aren't using. You can't obviously sell Hall of Fame badges, but go through, sell your golds, sell your silvers, your bronzes. I mean, Hails for Days right here, 1,000 MT. I can go list this up for 750, 800, and that's just going to be, 1,500 after tax, 2,000 MT, made in about, 10-15 15 seconds. Like go do this, and that's going to be just about 2,000 MT made. And I know some people might be saying, well, I don't have all this stuff in my collection. You know, I just started playing the game a couple days ago, and that's why I'm going to have other methods of going over other stuff. But this is just for people that have been playing the game a lot and have tons and tons of stuff sitting in their collection. And also, if you guys are new to the game, that's why I'm saying play the game a lot. You will get rewarded a lot more than you think, because you're getting those random, you know, bronze badge packs, you're getting those shoe boost packs that don't seem relevant. But that's the next thing I want to talk about, is going to be diamond shoe boost, because I did not realize that I was sitting on an absolute landmine about a couple weeks ago when I kind of went through and decided to sell everything. I had like 10 speeds, 10 speed with balls, 10 3-pointers, and when I tell you, like, even though it might seem like they don't go for as much anymore, like speeds down to like 3,000 MT, but think about it. If you have 10, right? Like I literally had 10, even if it's 2,000 MT, 3,000 MT, that is still 20 to 30,000 MT from selling one singular shoe boost. Now, if you have, you know, 10 accelerations as well, like I literally had 10 of all of the most expensive shoe boosts in the game. So now this is for people that maybe don't realize, but go check your shoe boost collection. If you've been playing the game all year and you've been grinding the game a ton, make sure you guys go check your diamond shoe boost, because if you have a lot in here, this is going to be a good amount of MT. Also, sometimes the golds do sell for like a decent amount. Like sometimes I was able to get 500, you know, for the speed or speed with ball for golds. And once again, I had about 10 to 15 of each of the speed and speed with ball. So this is another great way, is go through all your shoe boosts, whether it's your gold or your diamond. Now the gold ones won't sell unless it's like a good shoe boost, like a speed, a 3-pointer, speed with ball, you know, that type of stuff. Maybe a lateral quickness, like that stuff will sell a little bit more. We can see lateral quickness right here, probably can get maybe a couple hundred MT, 200-300. I mean, that's still gonna add up. So that's what I would do personally. Another great way to make MT right now in the game that I quickly want to go over is going to be badging up players with Hall of Fame badges. Now I do have separate videos talking about this and going more in depth, but just going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how to make MT with HOF badges. So what you guys want to do is try to obtain as many HOF badges as possible. I have videos on how to do that, but mainly if you guys have a lot of tokens, you want to focus by getting them in the token market for 150 tokens, and then there's tons of ways to earn them in game modes. And if you guys have been stacking them for a while, that will definitely help you guys make MT in the long run. So what you guys want to do is try to get as many Hall of Fame badges as possible, and you want to get as many unique HOFs as possible. What I mean by uniques is, if you look at my, for example, ankle braces, I'm gonna have 2. So when I mean unique HOF badges, I can see I have 15 uniques on this page, and then I do have 8 on this, or I have 7 on this page. So that's going to be 22 unique Hall of Fame badges. Now in total, I might have like 30 or 31, because I have like 2 workhorses, 2 bullies, I have 2 ankle braces, 2 pro touches, or 2 needle threaders. So I have more Hall of Fame badges, but you want to get to like 30, 35, 40 unique HOF badges to be making a lot of MT. And then basically what it is, very simple, is when a new card does come out on Friday. So for example, if it's a supersonic set, if it's the high res set, you want to find an expensive card. For example, a Ricky Davis, he was a really good card to do. You know, this Galaxy Opal from the supersonic set, the AK-47, he was a great card to badge up when he first came out, and that is going to be easily the best time to do it, is when the new cards do drop. So you can find a Dark Matter if you want to do the KD, you want to do the Will Chamberlain. You wait 4 hours if you can't pull them in packs. You wait 4 hours, you wait for the cards to start expiring, you buy the card, you add all the Hall of Fame badges, you give him a diamond shoe that has all the great upgrades for the card, and then you list them for 4 hours and then see how much MT you can make. Now you're gonna have to do it like smartly with adding the HOF badges. You don't only want to add like 5 or 6 HOFs, you're not gonna be able to make that much MT. You want to probably give the card at least like 15 Hall of Fame badges, at least 15 to 20 to actually make a decent amount. Like if you look at a card like KD, he's got 30 Hall of Fame badges. If he's not at least 45 to 50 HOFs, he's not going to go for like a crazy amount. So if you guys want more in-depth explanation of how to do this, I was just kind of the simple rundown. You guys can go watch my 2 videos. I'll probably leave a link to in the description of me badging up Ricky Davis, showing you guys a step-by-step process of actually how to do that on a Friday. You know, wait the 4 hours, buy the card, add the Hall of Fame badges, the diamond shoe, and then list them up on the auction notes. It's very simple to do, but you guys can go watch that video if you do need some help with that. And then also I have a separate video just explaining, you know, more in depth of how to actually do it. So I'll try to leave a link to both of those in the description. But yeah, that's going to be a great way to make MT right now in season 6 and just in any season in general in my team. But now I do want to talk about the shoe method that I have mentioned a couple other times in my videos. But what you can actually do right now is go over to the daily agenda, and right now you can see acquire shoe colorway from the auction house. Now this is not what I normally do, but this could be another great way to make MT. So if you go to shoe colorways, what is the cheapest shoe colorway. So yeah, this isn't going to be the best way, in my opinion, to do this. What you want to actually do is go to the shoe cards, and then you can see, for example, there's going to be these bronze shoes. Usually I can sell these for about 300 to 350 consistently, and sometimes if there's an agenda, just like with the badge stuff, where if it says buy a shoe card from the auction house for a daily agenda for 100 XP, that is when those cards, those shoe cards go up to 500-600 MT per, and you can just make tons and tons of MT. So if you're really desperate for MT right now, what you guys can go ahead and do is sell them right now for about 300 MT, because that's like what they're going for right now. So you could get 300 MT, and most likely they should all sell. But if you guys want to make the most MT possible, what you guys want to do is wait till those go back up, you know, to 400, 500, 600 MT if there is that daily agenda. So just make sure you're checking the agenda every single day, and then you guys can see if there's ever going to be that agenda where it says you have to buy a shoe card from the auction house. But the way that you guys make those shoe cards, and once again, this is from playing the game a ton. If you guys have been playing the game a lot, this is going to be a great way to do so. So go to your shoe colorways in your collection, and then you want to set it to bronze, silver, gold, doesn't matter. Just start with your bronzes first, right? You can see how many gold shoes and silver shoes I have because I mainly do my bronzes, right? So what you want to do is go down to customize shoe. You want to click on add, and then you want to click RB or R1 if you're on PS, because you don't want to obviously apply a diamond shoe boost to a bronze. And now you can see all your bronzes are going to be here, and this is going to be how you make your shoe cards that you can now sell on the auction house, because right now these are shoe colorways, and then if you combine a shoe colorway and a shoe boost, which are these bronze things right here, that is going to be now a shoe card. As you can see, it just says shoe, it doesn't say shoe colorway, or it doesn't say shoe boost. So now I've just made 2 shoe cards, and I could go sell them for right now, you know, like I said, 300 MT. But if you want to wait, I mean, I've been selling mine for about 400, 500, 600 MT sometimes when there is that agenda. So that's what you guys can also do, is probably just wait is the smarter thing to do. But if you really want MT right now, I mean, if you go ahead and do this 10 times, that's going to be 3000 MT. If you have 100 shoes, which I had like probably 300-400, but if you have 100 shoes, that's going to be maybe 30,000-40,000 MT. So this stuff does add up over time. I'm not saying you can make millions of MT by just playing the game in a couple weeks, but this is a way to make, you know, 50, 100, 200,000 MT by just selling all the stuff in your collection if you haven't been playing the game for a crazy long period. I told you I made about 500,000 to 600,000 MT, probably even a little bit more now, just from selling stuff in my collection. That's not even talking about playing the game modes. That's not talking about, you know, for example, sniping, that I'll talk about here in a second. That is legit just from selling everything in your collection. So that's the first 2 things I'd focus on, guys, is going to be playing the game a lot. Whether it's playing T2 offline, you get some pack stuff in here as well. Whether it's going ahead and playing unlimited, which is really good for MT. You know, even Clutch M online has a decent amount. Like, I think you do get 55,000. So just make sure you guys are grinding the game, and the MT will start to flow a lot more than you guys think. But the main thing that people don't realize is just go ahead and sell everything. Historic uniforms, these sell as well. Like if you go to maybe a more popular team, it doesn't even matter, but if you go to a team like this, the Celtics, this jersey sells for 1000 MT. You could just quick sell for 500 if you want to, but you can list up this jersey for 750, and it's most likely going to sell. And I think it's actually kind of fun to do this sometimes, just to go through and sell everything and see how much MT you can make. And once you kind of like get in the flow of it, of selling all the jerseys, selling all your logos, stuff like that, it actually becomes a lot easier. So once again, just go through, look for what the lowest cheapest jersey is for this one, and then list it up for maybe 200-300 under. But I mean, if you do this over time, you should be able to make like a couple 100,000, which I feel like this year is pretty good, because this year is a lot harder to make MT than past years. So if we're talking about 200,000-300,000 MT you guys can make over the next couple weeks, I feel like that's pretty good. You can now afford a Taco Fall, you can afford a decent team. Like if you get 200,000-300,000 MT from scratch, I mean, you can build a pretty solid squad that you can take into the game modes. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.